It's February 25th, 2020. I'm in London, where there's a trial to decide on the extradition of Julian Assange to the United States. Well, first week of the trial. I'm going to carry that thing on in May. So this is the second day. I was here since Sunday, like 2 days ago. And yesterday was way busy in front of court. The French, the yellow vests, made an appearance, 150 of them. Sang all day, banged the gates all day, made a record, and apparently that was heard inside of court also. This was very cool, very impressive. They'd left Monday evening again, so today it's quiet outside. I've made a few interviews on Sunday with drone program whistleblower Lisa Ling, and yesterday with CIA whistleblower John Kiriakou. John was working in Iraq at the time of the Chelsea Manning leaking her information to WikiLeaks. So they both reflect on what's going on here with the trial. I made some images yesterday outside court, so I'm going to show you that in a moment. And then tonight there's going to be something happening in the north of London, an event, so I'll report from that as well. Then, I met Marketa Gregorova, which is a parliament member, European Parliament member, from the pirates in the Czech Republic. Now there's a few international observers present at the trial. I was thinking at first they would be in courtroom, but that's not the case. Matter of fact, they were supposed to be in a breakout room. However, she managed to get in court accidentally anyway, so she was there for the first session. How that went, she'll explain that in her interview, which is without images, so you won't find that on YouTube, or not with images anyway. But there's podcasts, so you'll find it on SoundCloud and iTunes and all the rest of them. So enjoy these reports, share them if you like, and take care.
That's the way it is, isn't it?
But yeah. So you're going to be out here. This is you.
I'm here for the 5 days.
Yeah. So I would like to know if there's Dutch journalists in there.
I'll see what I can find out.
Yeah.
I've got a list somewhere.
Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning. Rest well enough.
Sorry.
Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Énormément de monde, hein.
is Bible treason! Act of 1776!
But only after these couple of hours, one should be certain about the politicized nature of this entire case, and all the compelling evidence presented here should come to one conclusion only. Dismiss this extradition request. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
So at the first day of the trial of Julian Assange, the extradition trial of Julian Assange, I noticed Marketa Gregorova was there as well. I wasn't aware, but apparently there were some international observers that wanted to be present at this hearing. And she's a European parliamentarian for the Pirate Party in the Czech Republic. Now, there were 10 politicians all in all that volunteered to be international observers from Germany, Italy and European Parliament. None from the Netherlands, so again, all parliamentarians could have been here, but she was. And in the interview that I'm showing you just after this, she'll explain what happened inside the court building, because she managed to actually get into the courtroom by accident, because these international observers were really supposed to be in the breakout room watching a video screen or audio recorded. Now the audio system was malfunctioning in the beginning, so you'll hear Marketa's report on that. Now we met after the trial day at the Domino's Pizza and decided that was not a proper place to conduct an interview. So we went to another restaurant which was closed. What you'll hear is us walking down the streets in London looking for a place to film. But in the end I never turned on the camera. So you'll hear us walking outside and then sitting inside somewhere to conduct this interview without images. This is Marketa Gregorova.
I were there like all the time. They are great.
So somebody, I forgot who, was saying that the chanting, the singing and the noises could be heard from inside the courtroom?
Yeah, it was.
You did?
Yes.
So you heard that all day long then? Because they were singing the whole day and banging the fences and everything.
Well, I was in the courtroom for just a brief moment because we weren't actually allowed, and I got there just accidentally.
Okay, so
look left. Okay, it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Let's not get killed.
Yeah.
But tell me how that works then, because you're a member of European Parliament and you're here in an official capacity as an observer.
Yes, but that doesn't mean anything. Apparently.
All right, so tell me what that means.
Well, still, you know, the British judiciary is independent, so of course observers exist, but it's not like they are, I don't know, obliged to provide anything.
No.
But there has been a list, but at the beginning there has been I don't even know how it worked, but apparently they didn't have the list of people at the beginning. They had it later, so everybody pretty much waited in the 2 queue lines, and first just journalists were being let in, so all the politicians and MEPs, etc. were waiting outside with the public also, and then we pretty much had to like cram ourselves in, persuade the people like, hey, I am here on a mission. Nobody from the security knew what to do with us.
Seriously?
Yeah.
What a mess up.
Then, well, I got separated from the rest of the group. So when I got in, they were at, I don't know, some accreditation center or something, and I didn't know where to go, of course. So I asked some security people in there, and they were like, oh yeah, Assange trial is in court 2. So I was like, okay, let's go to court 2, yeah. So I went to court 2, but because it hasn't started yet, there was no security.
Let's walk on this side.
And as there was no security, I got in, like, not voluntarily, like, you know, I didn't mean to sneak somewhere.
No?
I just was instructed to go to court too. So I went there, sat down, it was quite empty. So I waited, I wrote, you know, to the head of our delegation, like, hey, where are you, you know, am I in the correct court? And she was like, yeah, it's court 2. And I was like, okay, so I will wait. And then the room started to fill in, so I sat there. And suddenly it started, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I guess I don't belong here." but I stayed.
Kept quiet.
Yeah, and then there was a break, and they wanted after the break they wanted accreditation.
Okay.
So I disappeared.
Go back.
And then the room started to fill in, so I sat there. And suddenly it started, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I guess I don't belong here." but I stayed. Yeah, and then there was a break, and they wanted after the break they wanted accreditation. So I went. I disappeared. Yeah. And then the press room, or even for the politicians and everything, for the observers, while I was in the court, they didn't really manage microphones well at the beginning. So in the media center, nobody heard a thing, you know. So they were dealing with that all the time. So they actually couldn't observe, couldn't like write. It was really messed up. Like now it's better. They set up after some breaks. They set up microphones. They are keeping track that everybody is really speaking into the microphone. You know, some people have problems with that.
But
so that everybody can hear that. But also the room for the politicians and press is very small and unventilated, so air conditioned or something like that. So I went there and I thought I will pass out because the air was so heavy and terrible. So I just observed it for a little while. Then there was another break. There are all the time breaks, like 1 hour break, you know, all the time. And we went to the canteen, and then we managed to queue into. There's a booth above the courtroom for public, and there are some reserved seats for the family of Assange. And then, if you are lucky, you can get in also.
Okay.
So me and my colleague, we got lucky, and we got into the more like dignified booth. So we listened to the defense part there.
Okay.
But it was quite confusing, like for everybody.
Was it amateuristic? Is that what this was?
I guess so. I don't know if they really didn't like count with this process being so, you know, observed and followed. Like they should have. Like everybody knows who Assange is, you know, and it's highly politicized and controversial case. So I'd say you should prepare for that. But no, I think that's the oldest democracy for you, you know. They do everything in the old ways. Like I'm not. I don't want to be mean towards them. That like happens. Maybe, you know, if they are really going through the standard rules when it's normal hearing, like whatever, it's like this. But if you have something this controversial and you know you have not only observed like press, that actually, you know, it's about pretty much freedom of press, and you don't really allow press to listen to it, but not intentionally. It was just amateurism. Then this is what you got. But they promised tomorrow it will be better, so I wonder. I will just
sure.
wait a second.
How does that work? So there were international observers from European Parliament, Germany and Italy. So
yes, I guess so. I didn't mean the Italian ones, but I recognized some MPs from Bundestag.
So why those people and why not the other ones? The real question is, why is my country not in there?
I don't know. Ask your MPs. It's as far as I know, it was open to everyone. So if they didn't like ask to be included, they weren't included.
So I was looking for Dutch press also. I couldn't find any.
Maybe they don't want to cover it. There were no Czechs either. Don't worry.
Well, tomorrow I daren't go in because I don't hold a press card.
But it's also possible that a lot of them will report on the outcome in May, or when it will be. Nobody really knows the schedule yet.
So this is just the first week, and in May it's going to be...
like of course it's the opening one, so it gets more coverage too. But I think that everybody is interested in the result, right? So we'll see how many press will be there in May.
So somebody took pictures of the pieces by the prosecutor, and the skeleton case, or what was the name of the thing, and I read through that, and so it appears that the prosecutor of the United States goes out of their way to explain that this is not a political case, and that even if it were, it doesn't matter, because in their interpretation, even if it's a political case, that's not no ground to not extradite him.
It's bizarre, but I'm not a lawyer, so I wouldn't like go into judging what has been said today. They have to, you know, say plenty of that, and of course to my ears that are not lawyer ears, it sounds a bit weird sometimes. For example, when the prosecutor, the U.S. part, when he was talking about how for journalists, publishing the names of their sources and the names, etc. It's terrible for the journalistic honor, blah blah blah, right? And then he pretty much proceeded to say, but Assange is not a journalist. So I was like, so why did you fed us with 10 minutes of saying something about the journalistic honor if he's not journalist in your eyes, you know?
So
but maybe they have to like cover all their points, so sometimes it sounds a little bit weird.
Exactly.
How will we get
How do we get across?
on the other side?
Maybe there's a tunnel?
I hope
think?
so, but
Or if the traffic's slow, we can just... I mean, it's all clogged up, so we can cross here. You think? So I'm with Marketa Gregorova, European Parliament member.
hi.
Hi. It was a surprise to me that there were politicians actually in the courtroom today. 10 of them. All in all.
Probable. I didn't count them.
No, according to the press release that was released today at 3 p.m.
Ah.
So who from European Parliament then? Do you know?
Well, actually, I know. I recognize just one colleague. I think he's from GUE, but I don't have much more information about him. I think he's either Spanish or Portuguese or something like that. I don't know. I don't want to go into detail on that. And the head of our delegation, but that is not MEP. That's one of the, I think, advisors of the group or something like that, or in the parliament. And also there was one assistant I recognized from one MEP. But I really don't know, I'm sorry.
But you're here because you're an international observer. Were you asked, or did you decide, well, let's go observe that trial?
Well, I don't know about the others, but members of the European Parliament, we have been asked by the head of the delegation, Naomi, who pretty much sent out emails to everybody in the Parliament, like there is going to be the Assange trial or hearing, and whether somebody wants to observe, because we have this kind of option. It's not like responsibility or it's not obligatory, it's just if we want to. And I absolutely wanted to, so I volunteered and I got in.
Yeah, so you had to get in line? So I was thinking there would be reserved seats, but you were there early to get in line, no?
No, absolutely not. Of course, it's even though it's official observer mission, it's we also don't held any kind of, I don't know, jurisdiction over there. Of course, the British law is independent.
Yeah.
And very
cool, but
well.
They could
so.
reserve a seat for you, like Marketa's coming with a little paper on the seat.
Well, no, we still had to queue.
Yeah.
And be in the total confusion at the beginning, which was also partially caused because apparently they didn't have a list of those who are being there observed or press or something. So I think they didn't really know whom to let in and how to do it. So there was a huge chaos.
Yeah.
I waited for like an hour. However, there were people that told me that they were there from like 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I was actually lucky to wait just an hour because I didn't know it will be such a mess. So I came quite on time, you know.
Yeah. So Stefania Morizzi tweeted that out. No, or Naomi. Anyway, there's a couple of journalists that are in court also. So I was outside. I don't hold a press card, so I was just outside with the activists. And then the French showed up. So that's like 150 people, and they were called. So like in a hero kind of way. The French are coming, the yellow vests. But these guys don't fool around. They've been singing all day, banging the fences all day.
Yes, it's been heard actually in the courtroom. I have been in the courtroom accidentally because we aren't supposed to be there. There is a special media annex or something. It's a very small, cramped, small building next to it, and there has been just audio and bad quality video.
Yeah, that's what you said. So you were there early. and you asked the security guy, what courtroom is it? And you just went there, sat down. That's why you ended up in court.
Yeah. Like I didn't want to be in the courtroom without any permission, but also nobody asked me.
Yeah.
I just asked where it is
You
being
sat down?
held, and they told me courtroom 2, so I went there. But I didn't know it's not allowed.
So, okay, describe the
Yes,
courtroom.
we could hear it inside. And Assange actually at one point, there were problems with microphones. Being even in the room, you couldn't really hear properly what, for example, the judge was saying.
Even in the courtroom, you couldn't hear the judge.
Not very well, yes. And Assange, as he was behind this, plastic or glass something, he at one point said like he can't really hear anything properly. So they made a pause and solved out the microphones. But he also said it's partially because of the noises outside, but that he's very glad and happy for this kind of support.
Yeah, somebody.
So it's not like he's complaining about the noise. He was complaining about not hearing anything, but he still said that he's very grateful for the supporters being there outside.
Assange was. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Oh,
He could hear you.
yeah, but he made that statement also. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So somebody tweeted from courtroom that the judge asked the people outside to. He didn't ask them to shut up, but keep in mind that you're interfering with the court proceedings.
I didn't hear that, but I didn't hear the judge too often, But the thing I think I've heard was actually the opposite, because somebody there was complaining about the noise, and the judge, I think she actually said that they have all the right to be
exactly.
outside and state their point of view and opinion. The British law allows it. So
I was very impressed with the French and the other foreigners that they were there singing all day for hours and hours, and it was raining hard and windy all through day. By the way, we're in a restaurant. If you need to,
no, they will bring it.
Oh, they'll bring it.
Hopefully.
Okay. Another thing I wanted to ask you is, so today was the prosecutor. So that's that. Well, maybe it's the wrong word, but today was the United States that want Assange extradited, and they made their case. So did you get anything of that case? What was their focus point?
Well, there has been statements both from the prosecutor, from the US side, and the defense, and well, pretty much anything you can think of has been said. Sometimes it might have contradicted a little bit, but that's maybe how they have to proceed. They have to pretty much state everything. But honestly, he was stating pretty much everything that was in the report, and it's several pages, a lot of it. It's a very thick report, and at some point the judge actually told him to just pinpoint the main arguments.
You don't
or
have
something.
to read everything up for us.
Yes, pretty much. So I was like, okay.
Okay, one of the things that I noticed, because those court documents were photographed by somebody and then tweeted, so we can all read them, is that the United States said this court, in their opinion, should be viewed as an ordinary criminal case. But they want him as a spy. So how is that an ordinary criminal case?
That's why I say it sometimes contradicts itself. I've also, for example, heard for like 10 minutes, he was turning towards the journalists a lot and was saying that if they published the names of their sources or sensitive personal information, it also goes against the journalistic honor. However, after these 10 minutes or whatnot, he also said, but Assange is no journalist. So it's like, why did you waste 10 minutes then on explaining something about journalistic honor if you don't actually consider Assange journalist? But as I say, maybe they just have to put there all the arguments they can think of or they have prepared, and then the judge have to somehow comprise it. I'm no lawyer, and this is actually my first court hearing, so I didn't know what to expect.
So I saw Assange's dad walk to court and walk in there, and he was relaxed in the morning before the court proceedings. Relaxed in a way that just talking to everybody and taking time for everybody. But when he came out afterwards, he was relieved, or looked relieved anyway. So,
oh, really?
That went well. Can you imagine after seeing stuff on the inside? You think, well, Could have been worse, or?
Yes, it could have been worse, I guess. He looked honestly really good. Of course, a little bit tired, but you know, everybody here is tired, and I don't know how much sleep he got, you know, because if we didn't get that much sleep, he might have been worse off. And hello, thank you.
So that's where the interview stopped, because our food arrived. So the conversation continued, but I stopped recording. So look Marketa up, look the other observers up, to see what they have to say in their official capacity. After this interview with Marketa, I rushed back to my bed and breakfast where I am now to talk to John Kiriakou, a CIA whistleblower who commented on the Assange extradition case. Look that up as well.
Yes, we came, we saw, he died.
Every nation in every region now has a decision to make.
You think I'm joking? Predator drones. You will never see it coming.
Laat staan dat ik kan ingaan over vuur.